Before we get started, there's something you should know about the Chonilla podcast. We like to cuss. And if you don't want your kids to hear it, then listen to us when they're not around. But if you don't mind your kids listening to grown folks talk, then turn this shit up and let the show begin.
Testing. Testing the live. It's too bad that I can't patch it through.
If you had it plugged in, they'd hear it.
No.
Where you're
live. For real? Let's test it.
Who doesn't want to love marriage?
Mommy, daddy, you have been good to me, sending me to Pallikoda, making me tea. Now the wife you want to find, arranged marriage you have on the mind. I want the love marriage.
I want the love marriage. I want the love marriage.
Don't want arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Bathroom cleaning is important.
Children in quick time. I want the love marriage.
Hey, he hears it.
I want the love
You hear the song?
I want the love marriage.
Yes.
I want the love marriage. Can you hear our voices? Love marriage. Nice. Love marriage. You know what? I am kind of feeling this song.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I am feeling this. I know nobody's barely hears the song though. You could hear us, but they can't hear the.
I didn't expect to do that though, baby.
I know.
Okay.
It's all tense though.
Okay.
Love marriage. I want the love marriage.
Hey everybody, welcome, and you are listening to the Chonilla podcast. I'm Clove.
And I am Shirley, aka Gersha Phillips, and you're listening to the Chonilla podcast, the personal comedy journal of an interracial couple who explores the world from different perspectives and experiences.
And wants a love marriage.
And want a love marriage. Mommy, daddy, I want the love marriage. What's the date and time, Hiller?
Oh, shit, that's right. We are Saturday, November 9th, 2019 at 4:37 p.m.
In the motherfucking Eastern time.
Thanks for catching that, honey.
You're very welcome. Hey, Clove.
You want a love marriage?
No, I want the love marriage. It's
Yeah.
really catchy. So my AKA,
Yes.
Gersha Phillips.
Gersha Phillips.
She's a Toronto-based costume designer.
Toronto-based costume designer.
In both film and television since the 90s.
Since the 90s.
She's worked on the set of several films like Walking Tall,
Uh-huh.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2,
Oh.
and The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. I have no idea what that is. So she currently
Sounds like fun, though.
she's working on the set of Star Trek Discovery, and she was nominated for a Costume Designers Guild Award for
Sweet.
excellence in sci-fi fantasy TV.
Well done.
Yes, you could. I'll have it in the show notes and description. There's a cool article on awardscircuit.com. But yeah, Gersha Phillips, y'all.
Okay.
Costume designer from the T.O.6. I don't know why I said it that loud.
Reppin'.
The T.O. Reppin' the T.O. Rippin' the T.O. That's a soca song.
Love marriage.
We can make a soca song out of that.
You're doing a different song.
No, I think I just made that up. We just made
It's perfect.
We just made a soca song.
Ship it? I don't know what to say.
We just need a good beat, a good soca beat.
All right. So the word that I learned this week is prurient.
Say that again.
Prurient.
Prurient. Prurient.
Yes. The context is
Okay.
Barbara Doris II says she was victimized by those acting on prurient desires, but her perpetrators were Catholic priests.
Like instinctual desires, manly desires.
Oh,
human desires.
No.
Instinct, like. Okay, I don't know.
It's having or encouraging an excessive interest in sexual matters.
Really?
Yes.
Prurient.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? P-R-U?
P-R-U-R-I-N-T.
Prurient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might use that word.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Possibly. How's your week today?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got nerdy with the soldering again today.
I had to capture that and share in the social because I was like, wow, you are serious. But show us what happened.
No, it's okay.
Well, you don't have to show us.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's a mistake. Don't worry. Moving on.
You know, you might think sometimes happy accidents may be useful for something.
Oh, I definitely learned from it.
Yeah.
But it's a big fail, yeah.
Why was it a fail? Was you missing a
Let's
piece?
just move on. I don't want to talk about it.
So other than that mistake, the rest of the week was good?
Yeah. It was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a pretty interesting, awakening kind of week.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
So yes. Well, here's the thing. First of all, yesterday you shared in the social. We are officially. Is it good to declare ourselves officially based on what Facebook is saying?
I'm following your lead right now. I don't know what's going on.
Clove and I, based on Facebook standard,
Okay.
we are domestic partners.
Yay! Woo!
Woo! Domestic partnership.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, "What?"
But we've been doing that since before Facebook, so.
But why use the word domestic? Though?
I don't know.
Why not life partners?
I don't know. Life partner sounds better for sure.
It does, right? Domestic partnership. So I was like, I don't know, something about it sounds so. That's a male who gave you that choice. And how come they didn't give you like an other choice that you can type in yourself on Facebook?
All right.
So I'm like, let me look up the word domestic because there's just something about it that just bothers me.
I remember you like looking at me like, like your face was kind of twisted. Like
what?
I
think it's awesome. It's adorable because, we had a good discussion and we're like, you know what? We're life partners. We've been, that's just who we are. That's us. You know?
Life partners
That
unite.
is the truth of who we are.
Right.
And so, but domestic partnership? That's so weird. Facebook, y'all need to change that.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, so I looked up domestic, okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
Relating to the running of a home or to family relations.
Okay.
Okay. It's an adjective.
Gotcha.
Another is existing or occurring inside a particular country, not foreign or international.
Okay.
And then it can also be used as a noun. It's a person who is paid to help with menial tasks, such as cleaning.
Oh.
And another noun, it's a product not made abroad.
Okay. Domestic goods. Yeah. Okay.
So
It has some hooks of ownership.
Right. That's why I was like, who wrote that? Who put that on Facebook as a choice? Okay. And I was like, that sounds very like a man thing to write.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should have given a choice of, if you want to be called domestic partnership, that's fine. You do you, boo. Or also the choice of life partner, or just put an other.
Okay. I
So
think
people can define themselves.
I think there was an other.
Was there?
I think so.
Can you type it?
I don't know.
They just.
I just saw the word partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And after our discussion, I thought,
Yeah.
I didn't even make the association with domestic and ownership and
Yeah. Plus, it's like, that label was on sale.
Yeah.
It was free.
First of all, I had no idea it was going to post. Like my Facebook game is so trash that I just like, okay, yeah, let me change this, let me change that, boom.
Yeah.
And then people are hitting me up in my DM and I'm like, what?
They were hitting you up
Yeah.
in your DM?
Yeah.
Like how?
Yeah. Well, okay, shout out to Drew because he hit me up
What?
right away. Like he's like, wait, what?
Yeah, because
He's like, you good, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah, we're good.
it's funny you say that because some people said, is domestic partnership when people divorce, but they don't have enough to move out, so they just stay together, asking for a friend. I was like, oh my God.
That's what it sounds like.
Right?
Yeah. It totally sounds like that.
Facebook, y'all need to change that.
Yeah.
Y'all need to change that. And then also another thing that was like pretty deep was our talk about narcissism.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? To be honest with you, Shirley, at the beginning of the show, I'm so nervous. I totally forget what I want to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, thank you. Go.
So I was telling you that I saw Red Table Talk, the one of their latest episode where they discuss
you showed me that.
The Narcissism Epidemic. And if you don't know what Red Table Talk is, it's a Facebook original web talk show that's co-hosted by Jada Pinkett Smith, her daughter Willow Smith, and her mother Adrienne Banfield Norris. So they invited psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula, where they discussed around self-obsession and explain how to identify and manage the narcissist in your life.
Okay.
And it got me, oh my gosh, thinking a lot about how I grew up. And one of the things that she talked about was the noble narcissist.
Yikes.
I was like, oh man, that's my parents. Where it's like they'll do everything for other people and stuff like that. And so they think that's some form of empathy, but it's not, because like there's that feeling of like, but you feel like you have something that you owe when they help you or when they do things for you. And it was really like,
Yeah, so, it's the doing something kind and then following it up with, don't ever tell anybody I don't do anything nice for you.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, what?
Right. So later on, I have like a list of the different types of narcissists. We'll talk about that later.
Very, very
cool.
But
yeah, but it was the whole week. I'm like, I'm sorry, Chloe. I hope I'm not bothering you.
Oh, no.
Because like it was just a lot of peeling the onion of
but it's like I told
childhood.
You. Yeah, but it's like I said, that when you do that, you're venting a lot of like compression, right? And a lot of confusion that you've had. And you're validating what you've been thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
So those things are needed on that road to like well-being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't ever, like if we're just kind of like hanging out and you're like, Clove, I just had a flash. I need to talk this out.
Yeah.
Then I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
And also,
it's my pleasure.
Thanks. And then our son, for the first time, he said he saw a record.
Oh, yeah.
Like a vinyl record.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Yes, but I could have sworn I showed him that before.
I thought so too.
Or was it the girls?
I think it was the girls.
Wow.
And we I don't know, assumed that he would know. Maybe because of his age. I have no idea.
I asked Ronan how many songs he thought was on that thing.
Yes.
And I'm not even kidding. He was being very like conservative. Like he was like, old technology. Okay. 1,000 songs maybe.
Yeah. Cause he was looking at every single groove of the vinyl. And he was like, I don't know, 1,000. Cause for him, each groove, each line is a song.
Oh my God.
So we're like, no. So then I hinted like, well, it's the hard lines that you see. So how many do you think there is? And he's like, 4? No, he went, 4?
Right.
Like for him in his mind was like, this big thing only has 4 songs.
Yeah.
And then he turned it around. He's like, oh, wait, 8 songs. 8 songs?
Okay, sorry. We got distracted. What were you talking about?
That's what I was talking about, like the vinyl.
Oh, okay,
record.
okay, right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we close off what we were talking about before?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to I have a list related to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to narcissism, but yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that was funny. And then later.
Amazing.
I know,
Amazing.
right? But later then, oddly enough, Ellen had it on her show, this girl where she was 17 years old and she had a map, a yellow phone book, and a rotary phone.
Oh my God.
And so she opened the map up and she asked her to close. Okay, so you have whatever time that I feel is convenient or whatever that works. So here's your challenge. Your challenge is to close the map, because she had the whole like paper map open.
Right.
You have to put the map the way that it was before, folded back to the way that it was before.
Gotcha.
Look for a muffler company called whatever vehicle.
Yeah.
And call that muffler company on the rotary phone.
Oh my God.
So she started folding it, not even like following the grooves of the map. Like she was just like, like with her hands.
Just forcing it closed.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
then
God.
it's like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
And then when she was looking for the muffler company, at first she went to the back, and then she
like an index.
Yeah, and then so.
Oh, because she maybe thought that there's a page with muffler.
Right, an index. Like,
yes.
exactly. So then Helen's like, what are you looking for? She's like, I'm looking for, I think it was like, let's say George Automobile.
Yeah,
whatever,
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, is that where I go? And she's like, no. And then she's like, okay, cars. Then she started looking under car.
Right. Wow.
And then she moved on, and then she's like, okay, let's just move on. And then when she asked her to call that number, so here's the number, she started rotating it, but while the phone was still closed. Like, she didn't pick up the phone.
Gosh.
So, yeah. So it goes to show you, man, generations, like, they really have no idea of the stuff we grew up with.
Oh, my gosh. Their whole world is like a portal to instant information through like one device.
Yeah. Pretty soon
they don't got a plan to go to the library.
No, pretty soon people are not going to know to write cursive at this rate, or tie a shoe. I'm telling you, shoe tying is going to be an art form. Like, it's going to be
it already is.
It's true. Like, things making anywho, it was funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
News, I like the news. What is in the news? Yay, the news is not bad.
In Canada.
It's sometimes bad.
Okay. So in Quebec.
Let's do this. I got a Quebec story too.
Do you really?
I do.
I wonder if it's the same.
It might be.
Is it about the English thing?
Yeah.
About the...
Just go. Do it.
Historic English community?
No, but it is about an English thing.
Okay.
Quelle surprise.
So Montrealers aren't certain if they'll receive services in their language in all of Quebec.
Okay.
After the minister responsible for the French language warned earlier this week that all Quebecers, except for the historic Anglophone minority, had to receive government services in French. So Premier François Legault clarified on Tuesday only those eligible to attend English schools under Bill 101 would be allowed to receive government services, including things like electricity bill in English.
Wait, so people who are English speaking won't be able to get their bill in English?
No, people. Yeah. So if you haven't fallen into the Bill 101 law, like where you attended an English school.
Okay.
And what else did they say? English school, and there was something else. I forgot what it is. Like if I come from like a lot of people in the English Jewish community, if there was like a on record, a certain amount of group of people that were known and to be of an English community, and I'm using the Jewish community as one example.
Sure.
They would be allowed to receive their bills in French.
Okay.
In English if they ask.
Right.
And or anyone where anyone in your family or yourself have gone to an English school.
Okay.
So if you have those two criterias, you are eligible to receive your bills in English. And also if you're going to go get some help, like if you're going to go for like government services, let's say to do your driver's license or going to the hospital or seeing the police, whatever, right? Public services in Quebec. If you don't have something to prove that you're a historically English person, then they have to. They will not service you in English.
You have to prove your English. Wow. Okay.
Like your history of English.
Okay.
Of being
Okay.
So they say they ensure what language. So people are like, what does that mean? So. Like when you fill out a form, if you're asking for a form.
Yeah.
So if you haven't met the criteria of Bill 101, they'll give you a freaking French form. So if you are someone from another country, you happen to immigrate.
Oh, wow.
To Quebec.
Wow.
And you speak English, but you don't know any French yet.
Oh, they love doing this to people. They love it. They
will give you your application in French.
They love denying access.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. It's how they roll. Speaking of denying access, there's a person named Émilie Dubois, and she's from France, and she wants to immigrate to Quebec, but she was denied her immigrant status.
Why?
She moved to Quebec in 2012, and she got a doctorate in molecular biology at a French-speaking university.
Nice.
So she knows how to speak French.
Okay.
So because one of the 5 chapters that she submitted in her thesis was in English.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, and she said the reason that for the English in her thesis was so she'd be able to share knowledge in English-speaking journals, in English-speaking science journals. Yeah.
So her thesis was bilingual? Is that what I'm
one of the chapters was in English.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What is going on over there?
And she also passed the provincial test that proves her French language ability.
And they still denied her?
They still denied her.
That makes... Wow. What?
Yep.
This is not good, y'all.
It is all about that, like, let's deny this for this. Like, they'll just pick it apart. You know what I mean? And to have that kind of like reaction to an English chapter in your 5-chapter thesis.
And you've proven that you are French.
Oh, yeah. Through and through. This was more about denying her because she catered to an English audience.
Okay, here's the question, though. Is she white?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But, yeah, don't get it twisted. White supremacy will sacrifice one of their own once in a while. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're closing schools now. This and then her, who has clearly the education, someone who can help your province, who can be an amazing contributor in the medicine science world.
Yeah. No.
And you denied her access for you to help you be better?
She wants to be a Québécois.
Oh my gosh.
She wants to be there.
Wow.
And share her knowledge with everybody there. Yeah.
Wow.
But because she also wanted to share knowledge with English-speaking people.
They're like, nope.
Yeah.
Sorry. You got to choose. Tu dois choisir, man.
Yeah, from what I could. Yeah. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
C'est tout ou rien.
Yeah.
But supposedly, from what I read, the minister of the French language
same dude.
Yeah, he was saying that it was pretty ridiculous that she was denied.
Okay.
Because she passed the test. She passed everything. This was literally trying to pick a reason not to. And that's like just completely terrible.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But it shows
I'm so glad
It's very telling.
we left just at the right time. There's been actually, because of all this, there's been such a spike in the healthcare centers and hospitals where a number of complaints from patients are unable to get assistance in English. Like, your health can be on the line. And some French folks, French Canadians in the health system, sometimes they're tired and they take it out on you.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, now, tu dois parler français.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to speak French.
But I'm dying.
Right?
Français, s'il vous plaît.
What do you do?
I don't know.
Do you think they'd be petty if you have like a phone app that starts speaking in French for them? So loophole. And you can't deny me. I'm speaking, you know.
I love it. I love it. You just walk up to the counter and just be like speaking English into your phone and just point the phone at the one that speaks French.
So hey man, if you are a programmer and you live in Quebec, create an awesome app to kind of like.
They'll still want you to.
It's a loophole.
Yeah, they'll still want you to prove it with your paperwork.
Oh. No, they still have to help you. You have your phone. You could use your phone to communicate for you.
No. I think what it is, it's kind of like a reactionary thing because, to be honest with you, I kind of trolled Quebec people in Quebec and spoke English to them on purpose.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like it.
No, this is my right. You know what I mean? I can express to you better how I feel about this whole thing in English.
Especially when it comes to my health. I don't want to struggle with words or skip anything in terms of like how I'm feeling right now in order to get the optimal best solution to my health. Yeah. So I'm going to communicate in the language I'm comfortable with. Yeah. Even if I can understand you and communicate you in French, I just don't want to miss anything. Right. You know? Like help me. Yeah.
No, things are just that kind of like I don't know what it is. Like it's what a nationalism?
Yes. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's
really dangerous.
We left just in time. So in China, they just banned kids from playing video games for more than 90 minutes a day or a night. So gamers under the age of 18.
Oh, you know why? Because they went hard as fuck, right? Like, yeah. So once they finally had access to like video games, they're just like, whoa. Like, you know, like industry recent video games, they must have just like lost their minds. So, there's no sleeping ever.
All the teachers made major complaints because all the kids are going in like,
they're sleeping in class.
The Chinese education standards is being messed with because of video games. So they're saying gamers under the age of 18 will be banned from playing online games for more than 90 minutes on weekdays and will be forbidden from playing between 10 p.m. and 8 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. They will be allowed let me say that again.
Go for it.
So gamers under the age of 18 will be banned from playing online games for more than 90 minutes on weekdays.
Gotcha.
And will be forbidden from playing between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. So between 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay, so on the weekend. So they can never play overnight because they shut it down every day.
Right. And then on the weekends and public holidays, they will be allowed to play up to 3 hours per day.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So official government guidelines outlined this new restrictions were issued by China's General Administration of Press and Publication and will be imposed directly through gaming platforms operating in the country. China is the world's second biggest gaming market behind the U.S., but authorities in the country have repeatedly criticized the negative impact video games can have on young people. A study in 2015 found that 500 million Chinese citizens suffered from visual impairment, which researchers blamed on the rise of mobile phones and online games.
So there's Chinese boomers.
Right?
It's a Bommer-geddon, Shirley.
However, there's no scientific consensus that myopia can be a cause by video games, but East Asian countries have seen a significant rise in the condition in recent years. And because of that, they're playing video games, so they're like, you know what?
Boy.
We gonna time your video game time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's okay. They won't last long because all the research and all that stuff is ready for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Do you have any other news?
I do.
Okay.
So even vegans will try to fuck with indigenous folks.
What?
Yeah. So there's a provincial park in St. Catharines called Short Hills Provincial Park.
Ontario?
Yep.
Okay.
And every fall, indigenous hunters do their yearly hunt over a period of 4 weeks. And an organization called Niagara Action for Animals decided to use their Facebook page to organize a protest.
Okay.
And it didn't take long for the racism to start.
Wow.
Yeah. So during the exchange on Facebook, group members used terms like barbarians, subhumans, drunks. People like this should be hunted in the same way.
Wow.
Yeah. Drunks with entitlements.
What?
Yeah. So Niagara Action for Animals said that they don't condone this kind of like bullshitty behavior. But in the screenshots that they took from that exchange, you can see the folks who are saying these rotten things are being asked to come out and join the protest.
Wow.
Yep.
That's not good.
Yep.
Why are they so hateful?
It's disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah, and the thing about that hunting ground too, only indigenous folks can hunt it those 4 weeks. There's no other hunting there at all.
Really?
Yep.
Do you know where is it? Did they say?
Yeah, it's like St. Catharines area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just outside of St. Catharines? I never
think
remembered
so, yeah.
hearing any type of hunting sounds or anything. Well, St.
I don't
Catharines is kind of, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Yep.
It's not, ugh. These people need to to be on that show. I have to check out that show. It's on APTV. Is that APN TV?
Yeah, APN.
Is it APN?
I think so, yeah.
I always get it wrong. There's a show where it's a reality show where they have like 6 Canadians, predominantly white Canadians, to like live on the reserve and understand like indigenous life, you know, what their lives are like and stuff like that. Because, yeah, people in that group would need to be on that show.
I wouldn't want to
time.
expose indigenous people to that kind of toxicity.
It's true. But, yeah.
Let's take a break.
Okay. All right. So, we got to talk about this. T.I.
Oh, boy.
T.I. said that he goes to we all know, gynecologist with his daughter every year to check her hymen. He said it on a podcast during an interview on the Ladies Like Us podcast. He talked about his parenting style. Okay, and among
Is that what
other
we're calling it?
topics.
Is that what we're calling that abuse? Parenting
It's
style?
abuse, yeah.
Okay.
And he mentioned that after her 16th birthday, his daughter, he puts a sticky note on the door saying "Gyno tomorrow, 9:30." So this is what he says. So we'll go. Let me try to do my Tia. We'll go. I don't know. We'll go and sit down at the doctor. And the doctor comes and talk, and the doctor's maintaining a high level of professionalism, T.I. said. He's like, sir, I have to, in order to share information. I'm like, Deja, they want you to sign this so we can share information. Is there anything you would not want me to know? C-Doc, ain't no problem.
Okay.
And then T.I. also noted that he was informed that the hymen can be broken in ways other than through sexual penetration.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. And so that, it could be broken by bike riding or athletics, horse riding, and just other forms of athletic physical activity. He said.
And it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah, and then so when the doctors tell him that, he says, so I say, look, doc. She don't ride no horse. She don't ride no bike. She don't play no sports. Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my result expeditiously. So, yeah. I mean, it's obviously, this man doesn't realize that he's trash. He's trashy with women. He knows the kind of dude that he is. And he thinks that that's the kind of dude that his daughter is going to meet or be with.
And he found himself a trashy doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
A doctor should say, really push on, like, sir, if she says no, she signs no.
I blame capitalism.
Yeah. Like, he's just, it's very misogynist. It's really, he thinks it's about protection. It's really about control.
Where does that line get blurred? Where does that line get blurred in terms of, like, control being creepy like this?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, because there's something there that it seems missing. With
him?
Yeah.
I think it's just he is projecting the fact that he is trash.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Clear enough.
He has trash-like mindset and he has trash-like behavior. So he maybe believes that a lot of dudes thinks like him. So that's why he does shit like that.
Thing is, though, his circle, a lot of dudes probably do think like him.
More likely.
So his daughter is surrounded by people who think like that. Right.
Yeah, and he's not going to look at himself and say, you know what, daughter? Like, because he cheated on his wife. It's been all out there.
Oh, it's layered like that, is it?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Not once. She's taken him back.
She's
been embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
wow.
just listen to the way that this dude freaking talks.
You know what? I would much rather hear the clapbacks on Twitter. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got to hear it. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Change the... I got to play because I need to... This is one example of him on his Expeditiously podcast. That's him with Tamika Harris, Tiny. Remember Tiny?
That's his wife, right?
Yeah, Tiny from Escape.
Yeah.
Escape.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I never really felt for Escape.
Hey, man. Same here.
I've never liked...
Same here.
I love Candy on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Right.
I think she's dope.
Yeah.
You know, like... But I never was into Escape at all. I don't get it.
Me neither.
I don't see the appeal. I can understand take off your clothes and relax your feet. It's kind of catchy.
You know what? Yeah, it appeals to some people.
But I love Candy. I think she's dope.
I was just never feeling it.
Never feeling it. They're not for me, maybe one girl out of that group really knows how to sing, and it ain't Candy.
Do we sound like boomers right now?
We do. But again, here's an example of like...
All right.
You talking about my daughters? What you talking about?
Yeah.
What you mean treated like shit? Who?
I mean, it's...
Okay, now listen. Don't get me in my feelings, okay?
That's what you...
I mean, I guess that's
valid.
valid.
Get some kind of payback.
What you mean?
That's what
What you
daddies
mean
do. They
payback?
get payback for doing this type of... They get payback for doing the kind of things that they do to women.
No.
When their daughters grow up, it's like a lesson to learn.
Listen to your wife. Listen to your wife.
What? I didn't catch any. What
I think she's kind of hinting like you're going to get payback for the way that you treat women through your daughters if you because you're trashy ass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bible scriptures 90210.
Bible scriptures,
Yes.
baby.
This is the part of the show where I share with you everything that I've read up to now from the Bible.
Catching up from the Bible.
That's right. And so last time we heard about God sending an angry text via one of his angels.
Yes.
We heard about the Israelites having trouble getting with the program.
Yeah, he Skyped with his angel.
Excuse me. And we heard about God choosing sides with the Israelites' enemies.
Right, he mad at the Israelites, right?
Correct.
Yeah. He's like, y'all, you're on your own.
All right, so tonight's players are Ehud and King Eglon.
King Eglon, okay.
That's right.
I should write this down.
So,
Are we still in the book of Joshua?
this is the book of Judges.
Oh, right. Judges.
Yes,
Got
chapter
it.
3.
Okay.
And I call this one All the King's Poops.
Okay.
So now the Bible tells us about all the folks God decided to keep in the Promised Land.
Okay.
He originally said he would drive them out, but as it turns out, he let them stay to keep testing the Israelites. Not because he couldn't defeat them or their iron chariots. It's got nothing to do with that.
Okay. Okay.
So God also claims that he is doing this to help the Israelites who haven't seen any war to gain some battle experience and to keep testing them to see if they'll keep worshiping him.
Okay.
So the tribes that God couldn't drive out are the 5 rulers of the Philistines, all the Canaanites, the Sidonians, and the Hivites.
Okay.
So naturally, the Israelites decide to stop following God and his rules so they can have babies with all the heathens God left behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't take long for them to, start acting a fool again. So, so they started worshiping Baal and Asherahs again.
Okay.
And this caused God's blood pressure to fucking skyrocket. He was so mad this time that he sold them to the king of Aram named Cushan-Rishathaim.
Okay.
It's a crazy name. But after 8 years of this slavery, the Israelites called on God once again to help them get out of God's punishment.
Okay. So they were punished by doing 8 years of slavery with this Rishaim dude.
The king of Aram, and his name is Cushan-Rishathaim.
Okay.
Cushan-Rishathaim.
Okay.
Wow.
Kuchan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a mouth exercise.
Yeah.
So, so God tells Caleb's younger brother, Othniel, who married his niece a while back, to take back Israel for the Israelites. And he winds up killing Cushan-Rishathaim, which gave peace to the Israelites for 40 years at that time.
Nice.
Right. Well, at least until Othniel dies.
Oh.
Right. So guess what happens after Othniel dies?
Slavery!
Yes! The Israelites start acting a fool again. And but this time, God delivers the Israelites into the hands of the king of Moab named Eglon.
Okay.
So Eglon brought with him the Amorites and the Amalekites when he attacked Israel and took over the city of Palms.
Okay.
The Israelites suffered under King Eglon for 80 years.
Wow, man.
80 years!
I feel it for the Israelites.
Yes! So the Israelites once again started to ask for God's help, and God sends them a left-handed dude named Ehud.
Okay. Left-handed dude?
Yeah, I don't know why they say he's left-handed. They just mentioned it in the Bible. So the Israelites send Ehud to meet with Eglon once their regular tributes were due.
Okay.
So, because every once in a while they would bring tributes to the king, and like I don't know, whatever
like
their
gifts and
feast
stuff?
is. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. So, right. So, but what nobody knows is that Ehud made himself like a big shank that he taped to his right thigh under his robe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. So he it turns out the King Eglon is like a really large, obese man.
Like Jabba?
Yeah, he's like Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, exactly. So once Ehud presented all the tributes, he quietly tells the people who helped him carry all the tributes to bounce. And Ehud turns back to King Eglon and is all like, "Oh yeah, I have a super secret message for you." And so the king tells everyone in the room to dip out. So then Ehud gets really close to the king and whispers in his ear, "This message is from God." When Eglon heard this, he stood up at the same time that Ehud reached for his blade, and he stabbed him. He stabbed Eglon so hard in the stomach that the blade went all the way in, including the handle.
Wait, hold on. So Eglon told Jabba. Okay, no, I know that's not.
No, Ehud told Eglon.
So Ehud is the big guy.
No, Eglon, the King Eglon is the big guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
King Eglon is the big guy, and Ehud is the guy who's preparing to stab him.
Yes.
Okay.
So
but then he said, "This message is from God."
Right. And then Eglon stood up when he heard that,
That's the big guy.
At that moment, that's when Ehud stabbed him. And
got it.
He stabbed him so hard that it went all the way, like,
In.
the handle went all the way in.
Like the Jello guy from Transylvania.
Exactly like the Jello guy from Transylvania. So then Eglon supposedly like just shits himself.
Whoa.
Yeah. And at the same time that he's shitting himself, the fat of his stomach kind of closes around the blade.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why would...
I don't know. But it closes around the blade to the point that Ehud couldn't pull it out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Grossness.
after Ehud leaves the room, the king's servants show up, but the king's room is locked, and they figure he must be taking like a huge shit in his room because it smells so bad.
Oh gosh! Oh, really? That's in the Bible?
I added the smell so bad part, but they don't mention it. But they come up to the room and then they don't go in for a while. They just kind of hang out.
So
right?
it smells really bad.
Right. So. And so they just decided to wait, and they waited for a while, and then decided to unlock the door, and that's when they found the king dead on the poopy floor.
Oh.
So Ehud escapes to a place called Sarah, and when he gets there, he blows on a trumpet to signal the Israelites that the uprise has begun.
Oh.
Yes.
La Revolution.
Yes. So Ehud starts yelling at the Israelites, "We got this. God is on our side again." And they wind up killing 10,000 Moabites to take back Israel.
Wow.
Which brings peace to the Israelites for 80 years. Oh, and some guy named Shamgar kills like 600 people with a cattle prod.
What?
Yeah, they mention it, and he gets credit at the end of the chapter for helping to save Israel as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that was chapter 3. So chapter 4, I call this one Just Rest Your Pretty Little Face.
okay.
So after the 80 years of peace, the Israelites start forgetting all about the God of Abraham again. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
So this time,
and ladies. And they.
So this time, God decides to sell them to the Canaanite king named Jabin, who had his home base in a place called Hazor. King Jabin had a BFF named Sisera, and he was the commander of Jabin's army.
Okay.
You follow?
Oh.
All right. So they wind up.
Okay.
So they wind up using 900 iron chariots to oppress the Israelites for 20 years, until the Israelites beg for God to do something about all the oppression going on. Mm-hmm. So now the Bible tells us that a woman named Deborah was considered a prophet to the Israelites, and she was kind of like a judge. But she would sit under a palm tree, and the Israelites would bring all their problems to her so she could solve them. You know,
Is she an Israelite?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but the way they describe her, they made her sound like a black woman. Like everybody's just bringing their problems to her. Just solve this for me. Solve this for me.
Woman. She's a black woman. That's a black woman. Okay. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So while
I'm gonna look it up in my little black Bible encyclopedia. I found it in my room. I found
cool.
it. So I'm wondering.
You should bring that in.
I will. I wonder
awesome.
if she's in there.
That's awesome. So where was I? Here. Okay, so while Deborah is sitting under the palm tree, she asks to see a man named Barak.
What?
Yeah.
Barak?
And when Barak shows up, Deborah tells him that God wants him to gather 10,000 men and lead them to a place called Mount Tabor.
Look at that. Barak organizer in the Bible, Barak organizer Chicago.
Sure.
I don't know.
So Deborah then tells Barak to fight King Jabin's army, and that she will take care of the commander, that guy named Sisera, and so to make sure that he doesn't get away. So Barak is all like, "Cool, as long as you ride with me, I'm down." And Deborah is all like, "I wouldn't miss it for the world, but you should know that God wants a woman to kill Sisera." Okay. So you won't get any glory for that.
Why do I feel like Barak is not going to listen?
So Barak seems okay.
This is proof. If he does it, then I really know she's a black woman, because that's the kind. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
I should have added that part. So then Barak seems okay with this, and they head out to gather their army and start some revolution shit.
Okay.
So now in the Bible, it tells us that a man named Heber sets up a tent near a giant tree close to a place called Kadesh. Mm-hmm. So Heber is part of kind of like a nomadic tribe, and he made like a deal a while back with Sisera. So Heber tells Sisera that Barak is on his way with a huge army. So Sisera sounds the alarm and gathers all his army, which includes 900 iron chariots. So I think at this point, Barak started to get a little nervous. So Deborah was all like, don't worry, God is on top of this and is waiting for you to charge. And as soon as Barak starts advancing, God steps in to help Sisera's entire army, to help kill Sisera's entire army. So it turns out no one from Sisera's army survived. None of them.
So Sisera is the
commander, the BFF to the king.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay,
He commands
thank you.
the army, yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So everyone there was killed, either by Barak's army or they killed themselves, or God killed them, yeah.
Okay.
So God now even helps them destroy the iron chariots.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I thought he had issues with, I thought chariots are a problem.
I thought so too.
Okay.
They don't seem to be a problem.
Something
I don't know why he held back, or whatever. So, but Sisera, however, managed to get away.
Oh. Which is the king's BFF.
That's right, the commander of the army.
Got it.
So as Sisera was running away, he saw Heber's tent. Turns out King Jabin had worked out an alliance with Heber, so he trusted he could hide in the tent once he saw Heber's wife, Jael, come out to meet with him. And when she came out, she offered Sisera a place to rest.
I'm so confused.
Okay. So Sisera was running away.
He
got away from that huge
BFF.
slaughter. Yes.
Okay.
So he saw Heber's tent. Remember, he set
Who's
up
Heber?
Heber is like the head of a nomadic tribe.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They're like neutrals.
Maybe not
Kinda.
neutrals, but they're aligned with the
king.
The king of the Canaanites. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
King Jabin. Yeah.
Okay. Jabin is the king of the Canaanites. Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
So, where was I? So he's running away. So he sees Heber's tent. It turns out that the king, King Jabin, the king of the Canaanites, had worked out an alliance with Heber.
Okay,
So he trusted he could hide in the tent once he saw Heber's wife Jael come out to meet with him.
Okay.
So she came out to meet with him and offered him a place to rest.
Okay.
So she brings him inside and covers him with a blanket. Sisera then says he's thirsty for some water, but Jael instead gives him milk.
Okay.
Yeah, so she gives him milk and she kind of tucks him in with his blanket. And then...
like a baby.
Yeah, and then Jabin... and then Sisera tells Jael to watch the door while he sleeps and to not let anyone in. And if anyone asks if there's someone inside, that she should say no.
Okay.
So Jael waits for Sisera to fall asleep, and with the help of a hammer and a tent peg, she pins his head to the ground by hammering the tent peg into his temple.
Why?
Yes. She's a slam.
Dang.
Yes. So then Barak showed up at Jael's tent because he was chasing Sisera.
Right.
And Jael comes out to meet him and is all like, I got a surprise for you.
To Barak.
Yes.
Okay.
And she shows Barak the dead body
of
Sisera on the floor of the tent.
Okay.
So then the Bible notes that this was the day that the Israelites pressed hard enough to destroy the Canaanite king.
Okay.
And fun fact, Jael is more commonly pronounced Yael.
Yael.
And is currently the most common first name given to women in Israel.
Oh yeah?
That's correct.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah, so next time we'll hear about Deborah and Barak writing and singing a song to praise Yael's tent peg murder.
What? Wait, is Michelle Deborah?
I don't know. But I don't know how I'm going to figure out to do the song.
I don't know how I'm going to sing this 15 chapters. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate and donate. Pass the plate, you gotta donate. Well, we learned about the book of Judges.
Chapter 3 and 4.
Y'all need war experience. The Israelites keeps not getting it.
And
they go out in and out of slavery.
And Shamgar kills like 600 people with a cattle prod.
That's good. Ooh, best play and donate. Best play and donate. Best play and donate. Best play, you gotta donate.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. Go to Chonilla. Email us, chonillalove@gmail.com. Let us know if there's anything else we're missing from the chapters. Did you learn something today? Did you learn something today from this amazing drama of Bible drama?
I'm doing nothing but learning.
Okay. That was, now,
I hope I was explaining myself okay.
it was great.
Okay.
I love it when there's like these kind of like drama and war.
I'm
and
glad
like,
you're asking questions because then it allows me to kind of like unpack some stuff, right?
yeah, because I get lost of who. There's so many players.
Tell me about
There's
it.
so many people involved
Oh
in
my
the
God.
drama of everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait,
Yeah.
who's who? Where's
Yeah.
what? Why? When?
I know. Joshua dies.
Why
in
do
like,
you do that?
Yeah, Joshua dies in like 3 separate books.
So now
Crazy.
Yael is like, I don't even know why she did this. I thought she was on the king's side. It's always confusing. That's the beauty of it. Drama.
Yeah.
So remember earlier, the list, 2 types and 4 subtypes of narcissists.
Oh my
all
gosh.
empaths.
We didn't even talk about this yet?
I know. I was saying I'm going to talk about it later. This is the later.
Gosh.
This is the later. So, 2 types and 4 subtypes of narcissists. All empaths should look out for. So earlier
Okay.
I was talking about
Okay.
at the beginning of the show how I was watching that episode on Red Table Talk, and it made me think a lot about how
Right.
I grew up and things like that. And so I thought maybe this
we had really good conversations.
Really great conversation.
Yeah,
And,
a lot of puzzle pieces kind of fit
yeah.
in certain places now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I thought this is a perfect article for people to know if you are in a relationship or a friendship or know anyone. You know.
Why are you like saying
I don't know
this?
why
Okay.
I'm whispering. So there's 2 main types of narcissists.
Gotcha.
The first is the vulnerable narcissist.
The vulnerable narcissist. Okay.
VNs. They're called VNs.
VNs.
Yeah, VNs, like vulnerable narcissist. VNs.
Oh, okay.
So these are people, who are generally very sensitive and tend to be quiet or shy by nature, yet to disguise their chronic feelings of self-loathing and unworthiness, VNs overcompensate by putting on a grandiose mask, seeking to merge their identities with other idealized people.
Oh my gosh.
Those are VNs.
VNs, vulnerable?
Vulnerable narcissists.
Okay, so but what makes them a narcissist in that? Like you'll have someone, and the way that I'm getting this from the way it's described,
Yeah.
they'll enter a new relationship.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
What I'm getting from that is that they are so
They take on the identity of the person.
Other
that they,
people,
right.
yes.
So they basically
Yes.
like will mirror.
They'll mirror.
Right. So if some guy's acting like really toxic, they'll act like really toxic.
yeah, whatever that they feel is whoever's idealized in the room.
Yes.
They will take on that same kind of traits.
Idolized or idealized?
Idealized.
Idealized.
Yeah,
Okay.
So whoever is like, I guess whoever
Where's
they
the
feel.
narcissism in that?
Well, because if they feel that
They're not being honest about who they are.
at all,
And it's a
now, here's-
manipulation.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to remember, narcissists are overly like, oh gosh,
Sensitive.
Sensitive.
Really?
No, not sensitive.
Okay, that's the wrong
sensitive.
word.
The wrong word. They're overly the word will come to me. I had the
Okay.
word and it escaped me.
Okay,
They're,
no problem.
They're very insecure, highly insecure.
okay, gotcha.
That's the word.
Gotcha.
Highly insecure.
Gotcha.
So, and one of the things I learned about narcissists and growing up with one is it's the refusal of looking at oneself. There's the
Okay.
sense of like moving about
Constant deflection outwards.
constant.
Okay.
Constant.
Gotcha.
So So the vulnerable, so they'll
Yeah.
probably, what I'm getting from this, the VNs are the people, they'll see.
Don't piss me off and I won't yell at you.
They won't yell. Well, not the VNs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They're like you said, they're quiet and shy by nature.
Right.
Yet to disguise their chronic feelings of self-loathing and unworthiness, overcompensate by putting on a grandiose mask, seeking to merge their identities with other idealized people. So I'm thinking
Wow.
is they're in a room, they notice someone's getting a lot of attention and people kind of, I guess, look up to. They're going to start mirroring some traits that they think that person is putting out.
Okay.
And so they'll put that same out too.
Okay.
In order to either get the attention or things like that. But in a very...
Yeah, I guess maybe my understanding of narcissism is not connecting how that's narcissistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, I guess maybe people can do, because I think everybody kind of does that in a superficial way.
Yeah, but
right?
Did you ever notice someone who's like really quiet that you kind of like, you still feel kind of like, I know you're quiet and I know you're shy.
Right.
But what you put out, like, why is it that what you're putting out seems to match with this person?
Okay.
Like there's just it's hard to see. It's hard to catch with a VN. Like it's very stealth. It's stealth like kind of.
And
behavior.
what does it mean for the person who's in a relationship with a VN?
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
I don't know. It's.
I just don't see how it manifests. Like, well, I don't know.
Well, let's see. Because they're saying like the secret facade of the vulnerable narcissist. They are typically highly, and so just like grandiose narcissists, VNs like to be considered a perfectionist in their area of specialty. However, while the VN is similar to the emotional ups and downs of borderline personality disorder, but without the self-harming behavior that is characteristic of BPD.
So they're shitting on themselves?
Well, yeah, they're very self-loathing.
Right.
Right. So the victim card is routinely played to justify actions that others may see.
I see.
Disconcerting.
I see. It's the behavior that they use to center themselves.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So here's the perfect.
Shit.
Here's
okay.
here's
gotcha.
one. Instead of being charming, the VNs act aloof, smug, disinterested, bored, condescending.
Wow.
Inattentive and judgmental around others. They use the tactic to draw others in without having to engage in a real conversation.
Shit. I've done that.
What?
Yeah.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we having a moment right now?
I don't think so. But like, no,
you recognize that you've done that.
I could say that has been something that I've done, yeah. And that's something that I've seen like other people do. Yeah. That's something I definitely have seen my dad do. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a shitty thing to do to other people. I'm just recognizing that I hear that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's ringing a bell in terms of it being like, okay, yeah, wow. Okay. I've done that before, yeah.
Wow. It says here too, VNs may do better with online relationships than face-to-face. This allows the VNs to maintain the illusionary relationship as being more significant than it is.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's an example of VNs.
Huh.
Then you have
super interesting. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. So the other main type, so that one is, I can't remember. One is covert and one is overt or something like that. I think this is covert. And I think the second one, invulnerable narcissist, is
the invulnerable narcissist.
Invulnerable narcissist.
So the ＩNs.
The INs,
okay.
These people reflect...
Not IVNs.
No, not IVNs. These people reflect the traditional image of the narcissist. They have that of a highly self-confident person, cold and unempathetic person. INs, unlike VNs, are thick-skinned and shamelessly seek for power, glory, recognition, and pleasure.
Yeah. They'll look for ways to game the system.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. They do.
because nobody told me I couldn't do that. Fuck out of here.
So I'm thinking like an IN is a Trump kind of example, right?
Sure, yeah. It's somebody who knows like that they, can fall back on bullshit rhetoric and they'll get support. Yeah, gotcha.
Both types, though, they share similar traits as using others to fuel their narcissistic delusions, blaming and criticizing, lack of empathy, unfaithfulness, and the need for power.
Wow.
Yeah. So one is quiet, stealth. And you might find yourself, like with a quiet person who's like a vulnerable narcissist, that you're spending your time just kind of like, oh, feel better. You okay?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, are you all right? And and it's like the more attention you like, are you okay? Come here. Like, why are you so sad? Oh
They
my
pull
God.
away.
Like, yeah. It's very draining because you're like
always like a
spending
cat
your
and
time
mouse.
like, why aren't you happy? Oh, it's okay. Because they're like, oh, I can't. I don't feel good. It's a constant like feeding that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no balance. Like everyone will have these tendencies. That's fine. Like, we're human beings, but I think...
And if you were raised by narcissists, you can bet that you got narcissistic behavior.
Yeah. And I think with narcissists who are either vulnerable or invulnerable, it's because it's constant. That's the difference.
Okay.
That's the difference. We all have those tendencies.
Right.
But with them, it's imbalance.
Right, yes.
It's too much.
You're correct. It leads their life.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It leads their life.
The ultimate goal is to be centered. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So then you have different subtypes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I love that because, like, the term narcissism, I guess, has had such a binary connotation to it. It's awesome that there's this much study going into it because the world is impacted right now by narcissism.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was telling you, here's my theory of how this whole narcissism thing...
Break that shit down for me.
I think is the generation of our parents are in a way survivors, but not knowing that they're survivors of parents, of their grandparents, our grandparents, maybe their great grandparents too, who have suffered from World War I, Depression, and World War II.
Yeah.
So you're finding people who are highly traumatized.
Yeah.
And taking it out on their kids. Who are those kids? The baby boomers.
Right.
Right? So they're suffering from something that they have no idea what the fuck is going on because their parents and great grandparents have gone through these major human tragedies that people have dealt with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because in hindsight, I was telling you, everyone I know in my family, a lot of the women in their family, I mean, don't even add like cultural traumas on top of that. In the Black community, in the indigenous community.
Right.
So now you got wars, 2 wars, depression, racism, Jim Crow,
sexism, patriarchy.
slavery. You know what I mean? Residential schools.
Oh my
right?
God. Yeah.
So then I think those kind of things are what the baby boomers have grown up with parents who are highly traumatized.
Right.
And then from there, it created for them to be narcissists because she's saying narcissists are not born. Nobody's born this way.
Right.
They're made. And the number one thing is that narcissism comes from...
They're forged.
And they're people. Yeah, they're forged.
That's what I got from that Red Table Talk.
Yeah, it was awesome. They're not raised.
Yeah.
They're forged. You're forged because you exist and you have, it's a survival mechanism. Right. And so because of that survival, because you weren't, there are needs that weren't met as a child. So because your parents have gone through some major trauma that they didn't even know what the hell to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
not only that, but that type of trauma and dealing with it was looked down upon. Yeah. It was like really kind of shit on by toxic masculinity.
Yeah. And then you know what? I just had an epiphany with my theory here.
Go for it.
So what happens? You're a narcissist. You're very about self. I think this is the reason why baby boomers generation, why they fought so hard in terms of war. Maybe that was a trigger. You know what I mean? The Vietnam War. They're very to their self. They had sex a lot. They did a lot of irresponsible things.
Right.
They're very excessive.
Right.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Baby boomers still are very excessive.
Yeah.
In their behavior, in their youth.
My dad was a hippie. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a boomer, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're excessive in sex. They're excessive with drugs. They're excessive with alcohol.
Right. Right.
And I think it's due to that.
Huh.
And then their parents were excessive because they're going through PTSD because their parents have gone through all that shit, the war and the depression, and you know what I mean?
It's a lot of shit to go
It's
through.
a lot of generation of like not looking at oneself.
Generational trauma is real.
And then so who it left, and that's why she was saying in the show, like, because they thought that the generation of our kids, like teenagers, us, our generation, millennials, they keep talking about millennials, thinking that because they take selfies that that makes them narcissists. No, it's actually a lot of the excessiveness of baby boomers. We're paying our generation, Clove. We are paying for it so much because of the fuckery and the fuck ups of our parents' generation.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? We're suffering the most. We don't have job security. That's not there for us. We pay them like.
What did you think about when my mom was telling me about how neglected I was? What were you thinking? Like, I want to know because for me, it seemed like she was being cold about it.
Well, I think that's why I was like, when it was mentioned that she'd watch the kids, I was very like, no. And I was pleading with you. I was like, I will not. I was ready to go to my work and say, I quit.
Yeah.
I will not let her watch our kids.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was not coming from a space of really understanding.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
and my mom is what? I-N?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would lean toward,
and my dad's probably a VN?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I recognize that, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then there's the 4 subtypes. You have where's my notes here? Okay, so the subtypes are the amorous narcissist.
Amorous narcissist.
Yes.
Does this have to deal with love bombing? Keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Measures their self-worth and grandiosity by how many sexual conquests they have under their belt. This type of person is known for using his or her or they charm to others with flattery and gifts, but they quickly dispose of them once they become boring. It is the love bomb. And when they have met this narcissistic needs, often sexual or image/status oriented.
Wow.
Those are the amorous narcissists.
Wow.
Then you have the compensatory narcissist.
What does that mean?
That is driven to compensate for past traumas. Compensatory narcissists love creating larger than life illusions of themselves and their achievements in order to regain power and control over their lives. This type of narcissist usually hunts out emotionally vulnerable people who will serve as the audience to their fabricated stage acts.
Like Ja Rule?
Why did you think of Ja Rule?
Remember the fire thing?
Yeah. Yep. The elitist narcissist, this breed of person does anything to climb to the top. That is Trump.
The elitist narcissist.
Yes.
Okay.
And completely dominate
but
others.
You don't have to be one. You could be like all of these.
You could be a bunch. Yeah.
You could be the trifecta. You could be the Voltron of narcissism.
Yeah. Elitist narcissists are convinced that they are better than everyone else, often due to their achievements or backgrounds, or simply the fact that they were born that way.
Wow.
And thus deserve special treatment. Their sense of entitlement bleeds into every area of life, from work to the family environment. Harboring a severely inflated ego. Elitist narcissists are skilled self-promoters, braggers, and one-uppers.
Wow, one-uppers. Oh my God. I've done that.
What? Wait, explain.
I've been the one-upper.
What
I
do you
remember
mean?
the first time I heard the term one-upper.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, I do that.
Somebody told you?
No, I heard it on like TV or something like that. Like maybe it was like a comedian who was doing something. I was like, fuck. It's like, I do that. I totally do that. Like I remember like somebody would be telling a story and I would, as soon as like just before they're done their story, I'd be like, no, you have no idea.
I got more on
this.
this
Is a story. Yeah. Shit. Yeah.
But did you find yourself doing that all the time?
More than I liked. Like I was spotting it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, there it is.
And so what made you, like, you heard something, you said?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I just remember the term. The term stood out, like the one-upper. And I was like, not good. Not good.
How do I work on not doing that?
Yeah, I think in the archive, I'm probably like doing that to you at some time, but who knows?
Oh, I think a few times.
Maybe,
Where
yeah.
a story on, like, I think we had a guest, and then you're like, yeah, but, you know, my mom had, like, different personalities. Well.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it comes in the delivery. It comes in, like, you know.
Right.
I think. Anyway, let me.
Gotcha.
Read
Okay, sorry.
Let's
Yeah.
the last one. Oh no, there's another. Okay.
Oh
Whoop,
boy.
whoop.
Oh boy. Buckle up, y'all.
The malignant narcissist. That is
Just the word malignant.
the Voltron
Yeah.
of narcissists.
That's the transformer.
That
Wow.
is. Who's the bad guy in Cobra again?
In Cobra?
Yeah. Not Cobra.
G.I. Joe?
Yeah, Cobra.
Destro?
Wait,
Cobra Command?
Cobra Commander.
Okay.
Yeah, he's malignant.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just wants to see the world burn.
He's a perfect example of malignant narcissist
Okay.
because even when Destro and who's the other girl? Destro's girlfriend.
I can't remember.
You remember he had a girlfemend with the glasses?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, like they try and he'll.
She was like a hacker too, right?
He'll bounce on them. Like when the things. Remember how many times Cobra Commander bounce on Destro and that girl?
Yeah, he bounced on everybody.
All the time.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Commander.
Bye.
Yeah. So anywho, the behavior of malignant narcissists often overlaps with that of psychopaths and those with antisocial personality disorder. Malignant narcissists often have no regard or interest in moral versus immoral behavior, and they don't feel remorse for their action. The subgroup is characterized by an arrogant and inflated sense of self-worth that delights in outsmarting others.
Wow.
The type of narcissist can often be found in prisons, gangs, and drug rehabilitation centers, though many manage to run afoul of the law.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are the malignant ones.
All right.
But one more.
Okay.
This one I just found.
You saved
out
this one for
last because
Oh,
that can
boy.
be so confusing. The empathetic narcissist.
The empathetic narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. The greatest danger of identity is a straight out empath, is that it can blind us to our darker underlying traits.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we tend to assume that just because we're sensitive and can feel what other people feel, we automatically become empathetic people who can truly understand and feel compassion/concern towards others. This is absolutely not the case at all. And in fact, I believe empathetic narcissism is more pervasive than we think. Empathetic narcissism.
Wait. Who's I?
Whoever wrote the psychologist.
Okay.
Okay. So empathetic narcissists tend to believe that they are a victim of everyone's feelings.
Is this the same psychologist that was on Red Table Talk?
This is a different psychologist.
Sorry.
Thank you. So they tend to, I have to double check on that. Empathetic narcissists tend to believe that they are a victim of everyone's feelings, and though because they feel them so strongly, yet have little genuine tenderness, understanding, or compassion towards others.
Whoa.
You want me to read that again?
Whoa.
You want me to read that again?
That sounds like a feedback loop.
You want me?
Yes, of course.
Read that again?
Yes.
Empathetic narcissists tend to believe that
the EN.
The EN.
Gotcha.
Sure, the ENs. Tend to believe that they are a victim of everyone's feelings and thoughts because they feel them so strongly, yet have little genuine tenderness, understanding, or compassion towards others.
Okay.
So I'll go into it a little bit more.
Sorry, yeah.
So the essential difference between empathetic empaths and narcissist empaths seems to be that empathetic empaths permit themselves to feel vulnerable, thus are open to develop empathy for others. On the other hand, narcissistic empaths seems to deny or avoid feeling vulnerable due to their low self-worth, thus are closed to truly caring for others. So basically, when things shake down, they bounce or close you out.
Wow.
Remember
Just
that.
Ghost.
They ghost. They won't ghost on you. They're done with you.
Okay.
Because they believe they're empathic. They're protecting their feelings.
Oh, shit.
But if you're truly and utterly an empathic person, you're going to be open to vulnerability to truly understand what you did to another person.
If you're empathic without narcissism.
Yes.
Right.
So if you're a true empath, I do something to you.
Okay.
I'm going to want to seek a solution. But if I'm a narcissist empath,
right,
I'm more about my feelings. I may say, you'll say things like, I'm really sensitive and I feel this, which you do. There's no denying that you do. Both do. But it's how when things shakes down differentiates a true empath and a narcissist empath.
Okay.
And if things shake down, whether you're wrong, especially if they're wrong, they're going to close you out, man. They're not going to want to have it's very binary decision.
Right.
And it's not open to discussion. And it's very that's my decision. I stick to it because I'm trying to protect my feelings.
Whoa.
But it's really not about okay, I have feelings like this, but I still am open to hear what you feeling.
And maybe I should tell you about my feeling on this so that way we can navigate this relationship together without me being triggered, right?
It really leaves you fucked up.
Wow.
In a way, because you think this person is sensitive, right? You think okay, this person feels what I feel. And they do. They really do.
Right.
But they can, when they shut you out, it's super confusing. Because they're portraying themselves to be
empathetic.
Yeah. Which, not
works
to deny that they aren't.
Works right up until they resent you for making them feel some way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The tendency to seesaw between acting superior to others and feeling hurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. You feel confused. Or I'm like, well, are you empathetic or you're about do you like attention or you don't want attention? What's going on?
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Feeling more special and fundamentally different from others. And it's through language. You could hear it through language or behaviors.
Right.
Intensely upset and offended by any signs of perceived or real critics. You cannot criticize a narcissistic empath.
You can't even come close to criticizing.
You start criticizing, they don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. It has to be in their term, I think.
Right.
I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Inability to take responsibility for one's action and feelings, resulting in constant blame.
Wow.
frequently becoming completely consumed in one's own personal affairs to the point of forgetting about others.
Okay.
Yeah. Like things, anyway, yeah.
I think I understand. I think that part, I understand where you just focused on your own shit and just tune everyone else out.
Completely out.
Yeah, like a parent who's like that would just completely shut their children out and not even care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-martyrdom as a way of manipulating and controlling others.
Whoa. That's like all over the place.
It's very good. Yeah. Feeling that no one can understand one's unique problems.
Wow. So that one's dangerous in the sense that because you feel like you're getting close.
Yeah.
And then it's just like.
It's just so, it's like.
Without you knowing where you've crossed a boundary or anything like that, right?
Yeah. And I think with narcissistic empaths, it's like, I mean, just like any narcissist,
yeah.
they are great, like fisher people, right? So
fisher of people,
yeah, like
okay.
a fisherman or a fisherwoman or a fisher, you know what I mean? Like they're
really
great at getting you in.
Yeah, like a pastor.
They're so good and charismatic, and they say things that makes you feel good, and
like a pastor,
right? And you're like, oh man, the words they use, I never thought of that. But
right.
So you feel inspired by them, you feel like you've learned from them, and it's like it's a.
And they do that to control you. They do that to
It's not to control. I think narcissist empath don't know. I think they're just as confused about their level of empathy.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? That
right.
I think it's confusing because
here's how I deal with my emotions.
They love the attention,
yeah. Okay,
but it bothers them. So they compensated by, giving some kind of like, I feel you. I don't know. Like I'm still kind of like, dissecting it.
Sure.
But it's like, I think they like the attention because all narcissists needs that attention.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're self-loathing. There's some sense of low self-esteem.
Right.
And low self-esteem.
Right.
That's
you're using people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the number one thing with narcissists.
Right.
They use people for
whatever
their
reason.
sense of self because they refuse to look at oneself.
Okay, gotcha.
Period.
Gotcha.
Right? So, and they refuse to be vulnerable because vulnerability is highly triggering.
Is it like a danger zone? Like it's
deathly,
okay.
Deathly danger.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't want, it's like a Pandora box that they want to remain locked.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, vulnerability is huge. I know when growing up, us in the beginning of like in our early stages of our relationship, it took me a long time to allow myself to be vulnerable. It was dangerous because I equated a comfortability of vulnerability means danger because that was taken away from me.
That was a confusing time
I'm sorry.
for both of us.
I know, yeah. So, here's another thing. So they always feeling victimized. Oh, they're always feeling victimized by the world, life, other people. Example, others attacking you with their energy. Perceiving others in extremes. Example, demonizing a person or thinking they're an angel. So either they'll demonize a person or thinking that they're an angel.
Okay.
And then the last is inability to understand or blatant lack of interest / regard for the alternative beliefs, upbringings, social conditioning, and mindsets of others and the way this impacts their behavior.
That was a lot. What did you just say?
Inability to understand.
Okay.
Or blatant lack of interest / regard for the alternative beliefs, upbringings, social conditioning, and mindset of others, and the way this impacts their behavior.
Okay.
So it's like I could say I feel what you're feeling, but I don't truly believe what you're telling me you're feeling.
Oh my God.
If that makes
Yes,
any
it makes sense. Oh my God. Like I've that's how come you hear non-apologies that sound so condescending.
Yeah, you're like, was that an apology? You feel like, wait, was that a sorry or was that a read?
Like I empathize with you, but I don't believe that it's a real thing. Wow, like how's that? How can you have empathy for something you don't believe is a real thing?
Yeah.
So you're demonstrating empathy.
Right. They're good. They're great demonstrators, but they don't really. That's the thing that I'm getting from this whole
creepy.
Narcissistic. It's like.
It just seems like it seems like they could be in your life and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I think they're good to understand. This is what I'm getting from this. When push comes to shove with an empathetic narcissist.
Right.
If they do something to you or things shake down emotionally.
Yeah.
They are quick. They will shut you out.
Okay.
Like for them, there's a term. Like it's by their own term. The empathy is by their own term.
Right.
That's what I feel. That it feels like it's not based on your term. It's not based on you. It's based on what they think is their level of understanding you.
Shit.
Does that make?
I
hope I'm in the right direction in this.
I think
That's
so.
why, like, see us doing this right now is so confusing. They can be very confusing because, they can. I'm thinking. Okay, here's an example. You can watch a movie with an empathetic narcissist.
Yes.
They will cry when it's sad.
Time to cry.
When it's time to cry.
Yeah.
Right. They will, but it's on their own term. If, let's say, the group is crying at a part that they're not crying, they could be a little, it could be a little like, I don't get, like, not that they don't get it. It's just like, the group has to almost be an agreement of crying at the same part as the empathetic narcissist. And if the empathetic narcissist say, yes, I agree this movie is sad, but there's certain part that you were crying about that it wasn't that sad. Because I claim
I decide what's sad.
This is what the parts I think is sad.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know? It's almost like
doesn't everybody kind of do that though? Doesn't everybody kind of like make their own decision on what? I guess it's when you need other people. When you need other people.
That's the biggest takeaway.
Right.
It's the imposement.
Right.
It's the imposing of feelings because they feel it's because you have to think about narcissists impose themselves. It's the constant need of control. Mm-hmm. Even if when they claim they're empathetic, so their feelings are like they're sensitive. When someone tells you that means I am a sensitive person and I feel what you feel, right? But then I think an empathetic narcissist is I am a sensitive person. I feel what you feel, but in my own terms.
But I'll decide what you're feeling.
I'll
what
decide
you're feeling and how to respond to it.
Exactly.
Holy shit!
I decide that. I'll have to do deeper research because
we need to bring an expert.
You know what we do?
Yes,
we sure do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we sure do. But it's just.
And on that note, needing more experts to tell us how full of shit we are. That's it, honey.
That is it.
We're gonna wrap this stuff up. Thank you so much for getting us all caught up with these new narcissism terms.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna help me navigate a lot more scenarios and conversations with a little bit more knowledge. Thank you very much.
Maybe I'll do a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more digging, and then because I think I think this empathetic narcissist is so important.
Yeah.
Because I think for the most part, a lot of us can fall into that and have those traits.
Well, I'm already agreeing with like each one of these things you're talking about. I'm like, oh man, I've done that. I've done that. Oh shit, I've done that too. Yeah.
I think the overall lesson in all this is that if you are someone
who's been raised by narcissists,
or you are with someone who is a narcissist, and if you are, there are certain things I've shared that you feel you have a trait for it, you just have to ask the question the fact you're asking your question is huge.
Okay.
That means you're leaning not to be.
I hope so.
Right? but it's really about asking the question to yourself and looking at it.
Yeah, okay.
Because a narcissist is about control.
And being willing to change the behavior.
Yeah,
okay.
and not to change you. I think the biggest thing is, if you're in a relationship with someone who's a narcissist, they're constantly trying to move you away from what you're feeling.
Wow.
Period. And they're going to try to control what you're feeling and your world, and you'll feel like you are working it around them.
All right.
That's when you know. Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap this up, honey.
Yeah, anyway.
I can't wait to hear more about this.
Same here. Same thing. Okay, so yes, check us out. Chonilla, email us chonillalove@gmail.com if there's anything else that we've mentioned about this whole narcissist, and if you know an expert, hey, tell them to email us chonillalove@gmail.com. Love to impact that.
Oh my God, this is some interesting stuff.
Oh man, I had some advice too, and anyway, we'll have to do an advice another time.
Yeah, the show ran long today.
Yes, it did. Check us out, chonillanetwork.com. Sign up today to find out when the website is live. And one thing I wanted to say, babysitters are teenagers who behave like grown-ups so that grown-ups can go out and behave like teenagers.
Woo!
Just saying.
Facts.
Just saying.
I remember that post. That's funny. So the quote of the show is, we are encouraged to believe that everything is possible in this country, and my own adventure represents, for me and for others, a spark of hope that I want kept alive for the greatest number. That was Michaëlle Jean, and she said that during her installation speech back in 2005.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, ex-Governor General of Canada.
That Canadian shero.
All right, and take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Do you want to keep singing?
Oh, rescue me. I'm burning up. I got some fire for you to see. Baby, come and take me there. I'm burning up. Trust me, you should hurry up. Baby, I'm just burning up, burning up. Oh. Okay. I just want to sing that part.
I wish I could pick up the rap part for you, but...
Oh. Just need to practice, you know?
Sure, yeah. Get in front of the mirror.
Get in front of the mirror, have the lyrics printed right in front of you
Yeah,
in the
I can
mirror.
have it on my cell phone.
Yeah. Make sure you have your hood up like this.
Perfect.
Make
Spit
sure
bars.
the lights are flickering.
Mom spaghetti.
Wait, you're still listening to podcasts? Well, if you love this episode of the Chonilla podcast so much, just head over to iTunes or Spotify to subscribe and leave a review, I guess.